Sextortion is a form of online exploitation that has become increasingly prevalent in recent years. At its core, sextortion is the act of threatening to distribute private, sensitive, or sexually explicit material about someone, often in exchange for money, further images, or favors. The perpetrators, known as sextortionists, frequently operate from behind the safety of a computer screen, making them difficult to trace and even harder to stop. As our lives become more intertwined with the digital world, understanding the risks and knowing how to protect oneself against sextortion is more important than ever. To grasp the seriousness of sextortion, it's important to understand how it typically unfolds. Many cases begin innocently enough, with a stranger sending a friend request or direct message on social media platforms, gaming sites, or messaging apps. The conversation may start light and friendly, but soon, the perpetrator will steer the dialogue towards more personal topics. Sometimes they pose as someone close to the victim's age, or even as a romantic interest. Over time, the victim is convinced to share intimate photos or videos, or the perpetrator may manipulate them into participating in sexually explicit video calls. Once the sextortionist has obtained compromising content, the tone of the interaction changes dramatically. The perpetrator now threatens to release the material to the victim's friends, family, or the public unless their demands are met. These demands can range from sending more explicit material, paying money, or performing certain acts. The threat is real. With social media and contact lists at their disposal, sextortionists can reach a wide audience with a single click, amplifying the victim's fear and sense of helplessness. Sextortion does not discriminate. It affects people of all ages, backgrounds, and genders. Young people, especially teenagers, are particularly vulnerable due to their increased use of social media and their desire for acceptance and connection online. Similarly, adults are frequently targeted, especially on dating sites or platforms where personal boundaries are often tested. The psychological impact of sextortion can be devastating. Victims may experience anxiety, depression, isolation, and in some tragic cases, a sense of hopelessness that leads to self-harm or even suicide. Despite the seriousness of sextortion, there are steps you can take to protect yourself and reduce your vulnerability. The first line of defense is awareness. Knowing how sextortionists operate can help you recognize the signs early and avoid falling into their traps. Be cautious about accepting friend requests or messages from strangers, especially those who seem overly friendly or quick to escalate conversations to a personal or sexual nature. It's also crucial to think carefully before sharing any private or intimate material online, even with people you trust. Images and videos can be easily copied, saved, and distributed without your knowledge. Remember, once something is sent over the internet, it is virtually impossible to control where it goes or who sees it. The best way to avoid becoming a victim is to never share material that you wouldn't want to become public. Implementing strong privacy settings on your social media accounts is another important step. Make sure your profiles are set to private and limit who can see your posts, photos, and personal information. Regularly review your friend lists and block or remove anyone you don't know or trust. Be wary of sharing personal details, such as your full name, location, school, or workplace, as this information can be used by sextortionists to target you or make their threats more frightening. Password security is also essential. Use strong, unique passwords for all your accounts and enable two-factor authentication whenever possible. This makes it much harder for someone to hack into your accounts and gain access to your private information or contacts. Be cautious about clicking on links or downloading attachments from unknown sources, as these can be used to install malware or spyware on your device. Education is key, especially for young people. Parents and educators should talk openly about sextortion and online safety, encouraging honest conversations about the risks and emphasizing that victims are never to blame. Children and teens need to know that they can come forward without fear of punishment or shame, and that help is available. If you or someone you know becomes a victim of sextortion, it is important to act quickly and decisively. Do not comply with the perpetrator's demands. Sending more material or money will not make the problem go away. It only gives the perpetrator more power over you. Instead, cease all communication with the sextortionist and block them on all platforms. Document all interactions with the perpetrator. Take screenshots of messages, threats, and any evidence of the crime. This information can be invaluable if you need to report the incident to authorities. In many countries, sextortion is a serious crime, and law enforcement agencies are equipped to investigate and prosecute offenders. Do not be afraid to seek help from the police, especially if you feel threatened or your safety is at risk. In addition to law enforcement, there are numerous organizations dedicated to helping victims of sextortion and online exploitation. Hotlines, support groups, and counseling services can provide emotional support, guidance, and resources to help you recover and move forward. Remember, you are not alone, and there are people who care and want to help. Finally, it's important to recognize the power of community in combating sextortion. By talking openly about the issue, sharing resources, and supporting one another, we can help reduce the stigma and empower victims to speak out. Online platforms and social networks have a responsibility to protect users, and many are implementing tools and policies to detect and respond to sextortion more effectively. Sextortion is a serious and growing threat in the digital age, but by staying informed, practicing safe online habits, and knowing where to turn for help, we can protect ourselves and those we care about. The most important thing to remember is that no one deserves to be exploited, and there is always hope, even in the darkest of moments. If you or someone you know is experiencing sextortion, reach out for help and take steps to reclaim your safety and your peace of mind.